News back home, Jammu and Kashmir is all set to host the G20 summit today. Srinagar city has been spruced up for the 3-day G20 Working Group meeting on tourism beginning today. The valley is going to be hosting its first ever global event since the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. Meanwhile, stringent security arrangements are in place across the Kashmir Valley to ensure that the high-profile event passes off peacefully. Authorities are taking no chances and have beefed up security across the valley in view of the G20 meeting. Security forces have been deployed in large numbers to ensure an incident-free event. Remember, after India assumed its G20 presidency, it has hosted 118 meetings across 46 cities in the last 6 months.
बदला हुआ एक दृश्य है जम्मू कश्मीर का गत कुछ वर्षों में प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के निर्णायक नीति के परिणाम स्वरूप उसको दर्शाने का भी अवसर रहेगा। और जो बाहर से दूत आएंगे, G20 के 20 देशों के तो डेलीगेशन रहेंगे ही रहेंगे। उसके अतिरिक्त जो हमारे 10 इनवाइटी देश हैं उनमें से 6-7 जिन जो पर्यटन के साथ जुड़े हैं वो भी रहेंगे और कुछ एक वॉलंटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस। मैं तो ये कहूँगा वही प्रतिनिधि हैं जो वापस जा करके दुनिया भर में ये बता सकेंगे कि वास्तविकता क्या है।
We are now at an approximate halfway point in our presidency of the G20. In the last approximately 6 months, we have completed 118 meetings in 46 different cities across the length and breadth of our country. We obviously, for every meeting that is held, there is a lot of planning and preparation and organization. And I think the meeting in Srinagar is no exception to that.
G20 से काफ़ी जो यूथ है उनके लिए काफ़ी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ आ सकती है। ये देख सकते हैं आप कि मतलब कश्मीर में काफ़ी डेवलपमेंट्स हो रही है इस चीज़ को लेके। कश्मीर को चुना है इस बार G20 के लिए, तो आई थिंक जो कश्मीर यूथ है वो इन चीज़ों में एंगेज होगा।
सबसे पहले मैं गवर्नमेंट का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं कि जिन्होंने हमारे कश्मीर में इसको करने का मौका दिया। और G20 आज से शुरू होने वाला है तो उसका हम तहे दिल से वेलकम करते हैं, क्योंकि ये हमारे कश्मीर के लिए, हमारी कश्मीर की डेवलपमेंट के लिए ही है। चाहे कोई भी आर्ट फॉर्म हो, चाहे म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री हो, चाहे टूरिज्म हो, हर एक चीज़ ये डेवलपमेंट के लिए है।
Ashrafani is getting us more details. Ashraf, this is a big development and a big event as far as the valley is concerned. Srinagar is of course spruced up to welcome leaders from different countries. It's an international event, but there are security concerns as well. First of all, take us through the kind of arrangements that have been put in place to ensure the best security possible for this huge event. It's a 3-day event, of course.
Sahil?
Ashraf, if you can hear me, okay, we'll try and connect with Ashraf in a moment from now to see if you can hear us or not. But remember, we're getting you details of the G20 Summit on Tourism in Jammu and Kashmir, wherein Srinagar is all spruced up and security has been tightened across to ensure that nothing untoward happens. And Ashraf is back with us, is what I've been given to understand. Ashraf, I was talking to you about, in fact, the kind of arrangements that have been put in place to ensure the best kind of security that should be in place for an event of this nature. It's a 3-day event and it isn't going to be an easy task.
Saniha, basically the arrangements for this event are going on in the Kashmir Valley since last many months. In fact, during last few days we have seen how the security was beefed for the event here in the Srinagar. All the areas which are dominated here in the Srinagar are being looked after by the security agencies. In fact, the rooftops are covered by the commandos of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. They are keeping vigil there. And not only that, there is a presence on the ground after every meter, or we can say after 10 and 12 meters. These kind of hoardings, which you can see behind me, one of them G20, they are the temporary bunkers for all those security officials who are deployed for the security of the event. In fact, this is the road which is heading towards the venue SKICC here in the Srinagar. After few minutes, in fact at 12:30, these delegates will come through this road and will head towards the venue, that is the Sher Kashmir International Conference Complex. And then for next 72 hours there will be the series of meetings which will be carried out in the SKICC, and during that whole period there will be some kind of restrictions for some civilian movements on those roads which will be used by these delegates, because first time in the history of Jammu and Kashmir any international event is being conducted here in the Srinagar. In fact, SKICC, which is the International Conference Complex, was built in early 80s, but during last 40 years not any single international event could took place there. Now finally day has come when this G20, and that also specifically a very important meeting of the tourism group, which will benefit definitely to the Kashmir Valley. That is why we have seen during last so many months the Srinagar city was decorated. In fact, the Jhelum river front was created. The smart city projects were carried out during the last many months. During day and night the work was going on, and the look and impression of the Srinagar is today completely different. What we are seeing for last so many decades, that picture of the Kashmir and today's picture is really giving something. But
Yes.
there are so many other shadows which are being looked after. The terror groups, particularly helped by the ISI Pak intelligence agencies, are desperate to put some kind of impression that they can give message to the world that everything is not good in the Kashmir.
Yes, Ashraf.
But on other side, the security forces, the police are completely tackling that issue
And not
on the
taking any
ground.
chances, because that continues to be a threat. Ashraf, I'm going to thank you for the moment.